Thank you, Joe, and thank you everybody for jumping on so last minute. Today's obviously a very exciting day for the Dodgers organization, as well as all of our incredible fans. Yeah, I think when you're making an investment of this magnitude, you're not just betting on the player's ability, you're also betting on the person. And with that, we couldn't be more comfortable to make that bet than on Mookie Betts. So I appreciate everybody jumping on. Obviously, he's an extraordinary talent. Mookie can impact a game in every facet. But I think what's really stood out to us in our couple months of being around him is just the work ethic, the burning desire to get better on a daily basis. And I think the tone that he will set in that standard for our young players that are in our clubhouse now, and also the ones that will come up in the future, will leave an indelible mark on this organization. So we couldn't be more excited. We appreciate everybody for jumping on, and we'll open it up to any questions.
So you guys remember to raise your hand, and I'll call on you. The first question will be Dave Vessa.
Mookie, can you just talk about this day and making the commitment to the Dodgers as much as they're making the commitment to you?
It's obviously a special day. It's kind of what I've been working for my whole life. My family has been a part of this. My parents have been a part of this. Everybody's been a part of this whole thing, and this is the day that we've been dreaming about, and for it to come true is definitely a blessing. Super happy to be a part of this organization for the rest of my career, and this is just an amazing opportunity that I'll never forget.
When did you think this was a real possibility? When did things start to come into focus?
I think I kind of kept my head down and was just playing baseball, and then the opportunity kind of came, and I don't even remember when, but I just know that I wasn't really thinking about it. I was just kind of focusing on playing each and every day and getting myself ready.
All right. Our next question comes to us from Dylan Hernandez of the LA Times. Oh, he went away. Go ahead, Dylan.
Hey, Andrew, you kind of mentioned, kind of being comfortable with the person also. I was kind of wondering at what point, because obviously this feels like it's obviously happened pretty quickly. You guys haven't even started the season yet. Just kind of wondering, at what point did you kind of figure out he was the right person to build around? And kind of throwing that to Mookie, when did you realize that this team, right, that this organization was the type of place that you wanted to be for the rest of your career?
Yeah, we talked about it in February, just all the digging we had done on Mookie. Joked about it at the time that he would blush if he heard all the things that people said about him. And so when we made that trade, we did it with more than 2020 in mind. We appreciated the risk that came with that, but we did it with our eyes wide open, and a commitment from all of us that we were going to do everything we could to try to keep Mookie here for the rest of his career. And so we traded a lot of talent away in the trade to get Mookie and David, but we obviously got a lot of talent back. And now that we're going to continue that runway and kind of keep the band together for a while is something that was front of mind for us. But being able to be around him in spring training, even during summer camp, just sitting up in my office doing things. He was the first guy on the field doing different drills. I know the Pedro Mora article that came out the other day kind of cited the play, which now hopefully will turn out to be the last play in a Red Sox uniform. Over the offseason, kind of reliving that play just speaks to who Mookie is. Scoring from first base in game 162 in the ninth inning in an otherwise meaningless game. I showed that video to my sons. I'm sure a lot of people have showed it to their kids. And it really just speaks to the type of talent and also the type of person and how much he cares. And then we got a chance to be around that and see that, on a more personal level, and it just strengthened that commitment.
And for me, it was, when I got here, seeing all the talent that you just don't see every day. I mean, obviously, the team that's won, so many division titles and been to the World Series so many times, been to playoffs so many times. That they're obviously great players, but throughout all up and down the organization, there's a lot of talent here, and I knew, I know that the Dodgers will be good for a long time with everybody that's kind of up and coming and who's here also. And so I definitely know that I love being here, love just everything about here, and I'm super, super excited for what's coming.
Mookie, I know that there was the kind of well talked about, meeting in spring training, the team meeting. I was just kind of wondering, when you sign a contract like this, how does that increase like your sense of responsibility at all? To be that leader, to be kind of that role model for younger players that Andrew talked about earlier.
No, I mean, I am who I am. I don't want to be any more than who I am, and if it's setting an example, then it's setting an example, and if it's just kind of fall in line, then it's falling in line. And so I'm not really overly concerned with having to step in and be a leader now. I'm here to win some rings, bring some rings back to LA, and that's all I'm focused on.
Thank you, guys.
Next question comes from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead, Bill.
Mookie, how are you able to make this decision to make a long-term commitment in one place when you've barely been in that place? I mean, you really strange schedule this year, and you only had a few weeks of spring training before everybody went their separate ways.
I think that's a great question. I think just being here, the time that I've been here, the people here made me feel so comfortable. Like I said, the talent all up and down the minor leagues, the front office, everybody in the front office from the owner on down. I mean, everybody's amazing. I think this organization is a well-oiled machine, and I love it, and I'm super, super excited to be a part of it for the next 12, 13 years, however many years it is. And like I said, got to bring some rings back to LA for sure.
I notice you're using an S on the end of that. Do you want to do a LeBron James impersonation for us?
I gotta do it. I gotta be Mookie Betts. I can't be LeBron.
I know when we talked to you the other day, you said you weren't concerned with what the market for free agents might look like after this odd season. Did that at all play into your decision, though?
No, I mean, like I said, the market wasn't what I was worried about. It's just the fair value. That's been my number one thing for my whole career. Is just the value, and that's it. And once we got to that point and being somewhere that I love being, I mean, it's just a match that's perfect.
And Andrew, when you made the trade, if we had pinned you down, what odds did you think at that time there were that you'd be able to lock Mookie in long term?
It's a good question. I knew how strong our commitment was to doing it. And, we've talked about this a lot of trying to create a destination spot where players who are here don't want to leave, and players from the outside are longingly looking at our organization and wanting to play here. So I was hopeful that we'd make a good impression on Mookie with just the communication and the people we have, and just the culture that's been created that Doc and the coaches have done such a good job of creating in that clubhouse. That's something I think you can tell right away. And so we were hopeful that, he'd get here, fall in love with it. We'd go out, late March, opening day, win a bunch of games, win the World Series, and, we'd end up kind of staying together. Although we did have some conversations in spring training. And then obviously, the world kind of changed on us, which put things on hold for a while. But it was front of mind for us. It was something that we really wanted to do. And we're hopeful that, we could find an overlap and make it something that worked for all sides.
Thank you.
Next question is from Andy McCullough. Go ahead, Andy.
Hey, how's it going? For Andrew, I'm just curious if you sprayed champagne or anything to celebrate finally being able to do $100 million plus deal.
Um, it was tiring. Steve Veltman, Ed Cerullo did a great job. There was just a lot. It came together pretty quickly. A lot of very late nights, and so now it's kind of going on adrenaline, and now the adrenaline's starting to wear off. So I imagine that that'll be later tonight, and then I will sleep extremely well.
Does this feel to you like sort of the culmination of a process that's been going on for a few years? I mean, you've been kind of searching for a player of Mookie's caliber to add long term for a while, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, I think patience is extremely important in roster management, and making sure that we're as good as we can be in a current year, and obviously, and we've talked about this, and rightfully so. Our fans don't really care about 2023 or 2024 until we get there, and we have to try to strike a little bit of a balance between that. And so patience isn't necessarily a virtue of mine, but we've had to kind of practice it throughout this, in that if you're going to make a bet like this, you want to feel as confident as you can about the human, about the person, about how much they care, about their work ethic. And again, we can't imagine feeling more confident than we did, or than we do with Mookie. And so obviously that helps, but also us staying patient and doing things to help us in the short term, but not necessarily costing us in the long term, has provided some flexibility to be able to do that. But obviously we're really excited with how it turned out.
Thank you.
Next question is from Bill Plaschke. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, Andrew, what kind of message, I know this is a deal for the future, what kind of message does this send to the clubhouse now?
I mean, I think the message to the clubhouse has been a consistent one since we've been here. I mean, we're focused and committed to winning. Ownership has delivered that message from 2012 with Mark Walter and Stan Kasten pretty consistently throughout, and the actions have really backed that up. And so I think with the culture that we've created, and just the environment that's in place, I think it's something that's not that surprising to people as they've gotten a chance to be around Mookie and watch him work and watch him play, of why ownership and why we would feel as confident, as committed as we do.
Mookie, one quick one for you. Jackie Robinson was once the face of this organization. With this contract, you'll be the face of the organization. Does that mean anything special to you?
I mean, it's obviously a blessing to be a part of such a rich, history and the history in this organization. But I'm not looking to be the face. I'm just looking to come in and do my job. Like I said, bring some rings back to LA, and kind of help the guys that are up and coming. So if it takes being the face, then sure, I'll bring it on. But that's not my goal.
Thank you both.
Our next question is from Kurt Sandoval. Go ahead, Kurt.
Hey, Mookie, congratulations. Just wondering if you could give us a little timeline regarding, obviously before you got here, you knew the consistency and the success of the Dodgers. Was there a defining moment, whether it was with the front office or along the way, where you said, yes, this is where I want to be long term? And if so, when was that?
I think, when I got here, I had obviously felt some things out and had to learn people and who's who and the guys, and I had to learn all those type of things. And so I wasn't exactly sure initially, but you also obviously know, being on the East Coast, that what's going on out here. And so I obviously would love to be a part of an organization like that comes in, who wants to win every year. I mean, it's just like I said, it's a well-oiled machine up and down everywhere in this organization. And so obviously that, I mean, that's a destination that be nice to play. And so once I got here, it was definitely eye-opening to how good everything was, how great everything is, and like I said, I'm super excited for what's coming.
And just a quick follow-up on that is, you said several times you're just going to be who you are, and there's no pressure. For Dodger fans that are still learning who you are, how would you say who you are?
I mean, it's tough to say. I don't exactly know. I kind of let my actions speak more than words. But I'm going to go out and play, put my uniform on, and play each and every day. I'm going to play my heart out, leave everything out on the field, and just do what I can in any way to help. That's what I'm here for. And I'm not expected. I don't think anybody's expecting me to do everything. I'm not expecting to do everything. Obviously, it's going to take all 25, 26 guys, and I'm just got to play my role.
Appreciate it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next question is from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead, Jorge.
You mentioned the negotiations. You guys had some in spring training. Just how deep did those go? And when did these, that's the second stage of negotiations, start up? When did you guys resume these? And when did it, quote unquote, start heating up, as they say?
Yeah, we started talking about it in mid-March. Not clear how that would have resolved, just being that the world kind of changed in the middle of it. Our desire for something to work out didn't change at all. And then we kind of picked things back up pretty recently, 5-6 days ago. And it helps when both sides are coming at it from a place of wanting to get a deal done. It just increases the likelihood of that happening. And again, like I said, I think from Mookie's standpoint, he wanted to figure this out before opening day, which we respected, and didn't want that distraction. And so we worked late into the night, talking to the agent at 2:00 in the morning, and just kind of trying to figure out a way to make things work. And yesterday is when we felt really good about it, and obviously to get here to this point today kind of puts the closing touches on it, and couldn't be more thrilled.
Thank you.
Next question is from Pedro Mora. Go ahead, Pedro.
Hey, Mookie. I know you said you've been anticipating this day for a long time. Did you ever think in any of that anticipation that you'd be committing yourself to a place for 13 years?
I don't know if I ever thought about 13 years. I do know that this is essentially what I've been doing my whole life and what I've been working towards my whole life. Obviously got to thank my parents for being there each and every summer game and all those type of things. And I don't think at any point did we imagine it would be 13 years, but I don't think it's very surprising either. It's a long-term commitment, but I wouldn't want it with anybody else, other than some organization like this.
Thanks.
Next question is from Michael Duarte. Go ahead, Michael.
Hey, Mookie, congratulations again. You mentioned how special a day this is for you and your family. I'm wondering what the conversations with your family were about committing to one city, this city in particular, Los Angeles, for over the next decade. And did you have any discussions with current or former teammates while trying to make this decision?
I know the conversations with the family was just 13 years or 12 years. That's a long time. And, I think we knew it was going to be a long time, given the age and what was to come. And so, but, it is what it is. It's like I said, it's what we worked for. It's what we dreamed about. And so for it to come true is definitely something that a blessing. And, I wouldn't, like I said, I got to give my parents and my family a lot of credit, pretty much all the credit for helping me stay sane through this whole thing called baseball, because it'll drive you crazy.
Thanks, Mookie. And were there any discussions with any current or former teammates about the organization, the city, that made you want to make that commitment as well?
No, I kept this just between my family and my agents.
Thank you.
Next question, Jared Diamond. Jared, go ahead.
Hey, Andrew. I'm just wondering, obviously, we all know the world is pretty weird right now. We don't know when fans will be back in the ballpark, so revenues are certainly uncertain. So I'm wondering why and how you were able to make this commitment now, given all that uncertainty, rather than, wait until after the season and see where things shook out.
Yeah, very fair question. I think, from our standpoint, back in March, if you would have said, hey, Mookie wants to sign just a 2-year contract, he just wants to sign for 2021 and 2022, what we would have done in March and what we would do now would be very different. But I think from ownership on down, I think this just speaks to the faith we have and things getting back to normal. And obviously this is over a much longer period of time, which helped in that confidence is really high once we, kind of get through this. And fortunately, when you go 12 years, you got nothing but time.
Thanks.
Just a couple more. Jim Alexander, go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, Andrew, I know this makes a statement in the clubhouse, like was already mentioned. I know it makes a statement to the fan base. Is it also a sign to the rest of baseball, a reminder that it's possible to build a team that can contend to win a World Series without going into tank mode?
I'm so focused on what we're doing here. So we're not looking to ever send any messages to the other 29 teams. This game's pretty humbling. And we have enough to, kind of worry about in our own house. But, from our standpoint, that's our goal on a yearly basis, is to juggle the now and the future, to do everything we can to win now while preserving that flexibility in the future for things that come up that it's hard to anticipate right now, that increase our chances of winning then as well. And that's kind of our operating ethos and how we function. And, we feel like this fits in squarely with that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Next question from Brooks Smith. Go ahead, Brooks.
Hey, Andrew. I think fans over on Twitter are about ready to build a statue outside Dodger Stadium for you. How does it feel in terms of your career? Is this a major milestone for you and all the things that you've wanted accomplished with the Dodgers?
First of all, I think if we're building any statues, it should be of the man on my left, not me. But look, we are consumed by doing everything we can to win championships. And, we have to win the first one first. And when we get there and, Mookie keeps adding the S on the end, which I love, we're going to get greedy and keep pushing for that. But, from our standpoint, we're trying to put ourselves in the best position to do it, and trying to stay disciplined, but yet aggressive, patient, a lot of things that, are sometimes, in disagreement, and trying to find that right balance. And so hopefully we are improving every day and getting better in what we do. But I think the whole goal is to win championships. And that's what we're all focused on. And, can't wait for the first one to bring it back to our incredible fans. And then we're going to get greedy after that as well.
Awesome. And then Mookie, I hate to look back on the past since we're so excited about the future with you, but if the Red Sox had offered you any kind of similar deal, is that something that you would have taken, or is the fact that it's with this team and this city play into it at all?
I think it's a very valid question. I think I just want to stick with, I'm here in LA for 12, 13 years. I'm super excited about this opportunity. Like I said, the goal is to bring back some rings over this period of time, and that's what I'm going to be here and work for.
Great, thank you.
one more question. Go to Ted Sobel. Go ahead, Ted. Ted. That's all. I think we're good, guys. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Juan.